Welcome to part 5 of this Excel basics course. This is the final part. This is the final video. Thank you so much for getting this far. I'm going to cover a number of items in this video. They may seem a bit random, but I wanted to demonstrate numerous areas, several areas that I consider basics, things I think you should know. You may have noticed that since the last video, my text size down here has changed. The font size has changed. And also the headings, total and average, are bold. And I've underlined, using a border, the actual numerical totals. I didn't record myself doing that, and that was on purpose. It was deliberate because I want you to try and do that yourself. Try making some bold text. Try adding a thick line border underneath any formulas you've created. If you get stuck, leave a comment below or just go back and watch the previous videos that covered those things. Okay, the first thing I want to cover in this video is charts. How do we add a chart to Excel? What you need to do first of all is select the data or decide on the data you want to appear on a chart. Because it could be that this table here, there are some columns of information, some rows of information that we don't actually want to show on a chart, such as the description or maybe even the job number. Let's say for this example, we just want the date and the amount to show on the chart, or it could be the job number and the amount. The first thing you need to do is select those cells, including the heading. So I'm going to select date here, and I'm going to select amount. Now you see, as I drag and highlight over amount, my selection of date disappears. The same as when I select date here, amount disappears. So what you need to do is hold down the Control button on your keyboard. So highlight date, hold Control, highlight amount. So holding that Control button allows you to select multiple cells without deselecting your previous selection. So date, hold Control, amount, then you can let go of Control. So this is the data I want to show on my chart. Once I've selected those cells, I go to Insert and I go to Charts. I can press Recommended Charts for Excel to create what it feels is the best chart to display the data I've selected, or I can choose my own option. For this example, I will just click Recommended Charts. It will then come up with some recommendations for me. Let's do this one here. I click OK, and the chart is added to Excel. By clicking and holding on the chart, I can move it around. You can see it appeared over my table. That's not ideal. Perhaps I will move it over here to the side. If I select the chart, then a new tab will appear at the top called Chart Design. That doesn't show if I haven't selected the chart. I select the chart, I go to Chart Design. I can then change the design of the chart based on what I feel is best. Using the circles around the edge of the chart, I can click and drag these to make the chart bigger and smaller. So I'm happy with that. Just the same as formulas that update when the data updates, charts do the same. So if I change this 250 to say 25,000, you'll see that the chart updates. And I can do the same here. You can see that the chart is updating. Let's make a really big one here. Let's say 75,000. The chart is updating. The formulas are also obviously updating as demonstrated in the previous video. So that's charts. Another area of Excel you need to know is merge and center. And that is under the Home tab and merge and center. We have to select the cells that we want to merge. Let's say we want to give a heading to our table, and I want the heading to show in the center above the table. So if I put in the heading table, let's say sales for January, this is all hypothetical, and I'm going to make that bold and underline it to make it a bit bigger. It's not actually showing center above the table. Maybe I can change the alignment to the right of the cell, but still it's not showing center above the table. Let me delete that. What I can do is actually merge these cells together by selecting them and clicking merge and center. That now makes one single cell. It's still referred to as D2, but actually it's D2 and E2. I can now put in my sales for January, and it's centered above the table. This is really useful when you have perhaps multiple columns with one heading. So you could have a merge and center cell here with some sort of text, and then you could split text or numbers underneath the one cell. Any questions? Please let me know. It's possible to have multiple pages, multiple tabs on Excel. And I don't mean these tabs at the top, I mean these sheets at the bottom. So this is sheet 1. If I click this plus icon, it will add a brand new sheet. And we're on sheet 2. I can go back to sheet 1 to see my data, and I can flip between multiple sheets, and I can just add more. So I now have 5 sheets. And you can create formulas and charts and anything you want across multiple sheets. So it could be that I actually want my totals to show on sheet 2 rather than sheet 1. So I just do equals sum, open my bracket, go to sheet 1, select the data, close my bracket, press enter, and the total. The formula will actually work across multiple sheets. A couple of things you should know about rows and columns is it is possible to delete whole rows and columns at a time. If we select a column, right click on the heading, there is a delete. If I click on delete, it will delete a whole column for me. The B is not gone entirely. The C becomes the B and the D becomes the C. The column numbering and the column letters will always remain the same, but we'll just shift the data across. So if I got rid of G here, delete, it will just shift everything across for me. And rows work the same. You select the whole row, right click, press delete. It's also possible to change multiple column widths at a time and also multiple row heights at a time. You simply highlight multiple rows by clicking and dragging on the headings. Right click, row height, put in the row height you want, so let's say 25, press OK, and then multiple heights will be adjusted. I can do the same with column widths. So click and drag on the headings, right click, column width. Let's say we want this to be 30, click OK, and then adjusts multiple column widths in one go. So this brings us to the end of this Excel basics course. I hope it has been helpful. Like I've said multiple times, any questions, please let me know below. I have lots more Excel content on my website, freebookkeepingaccounting.com. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll speak to you in another video.